I see. I see that if you look on your screen, everyone, hiring FTEs for a certain time period, 50%. Contracting for time and materials, 50%. So it's right down the middle there. People are doing both things. I imagine it depends on the project, the scope, as we're talking about, et cetera, et cetera. But that's pretty telling. What I want to know, Perry, is when I was in business development in the CDMO, for development, we were pretty much always contracting FTEs. I don't know if we were leading the pack with that. I want to know about the trend. So this says it's even. It's 50-50. But do you find, and Nils and Andre, after you can answer too, do you find less use of FTEs than before, or more use, or are the contracts different? Perry, what do you think first?
Yeah. In the early development days, it's more time and materials, because it's kind of hard. You don't know what you're going to bump into. And to what Andre was saying, at those stages, I also bring consultants in as the SMEs or KOLs or whatever. They're part of the team because they're the experts in that. So I would have a hard time doing FTE kind of contract in our early days because you don't know where it's going to go and whatnot. Now, if you're a later stage and you're going to do phase 3 material, you're going to do the phase 3 validations and whatnot, that's pretty much laid out. You could very accurately budget for FTE and whatnot. I would be hard pressed to say an FTE for early development plan because I lose flexibility. I'd rather do it with time materials, and I can actually pivot on a dime if something goes wrong without changing the contracts and everything else. But that's just my opinion.
Yep. Nils, let me get your opinion on the past and the present and FTEs or time and materials or some other larger contract arrangement.
Yeah, I think there is also the poll here is kind of very similar to how I see it now, and also have seen it in the past. And as was said here before, and I can add to a little bit, it depends on what type of work it is. For example, is it about organic synthesis of certain chemical analogs that required for testing, for example. Some of those types of projects we would have on an FTE type basis. We basically use the CDMO as an extended arm of our operation if we cannot do organic synthesis, for example. So each case is a little bit different. Not sure that there is a trend here, but if there is, maybe I'm not necessarily aware of it. I thought the poll data resembles pretty much what I see from my horizon.
Very good. Yep. Andre?
Yeah. What I experience depends what size of company you are in. Do you have labs in the company or you don't have labs in the company? Second, do you do this type of experiments and studies on regular basis or just once or twice a year, right? If you do it on regular basis, like the analytical method development validation, which, every project has to have that in place, right? I love to build up my own team, right? And very good people, and I cherry pick them from great postdoc positions and hungry to work and prove themselves. And then you develop that capability. You ask for instrumentation, obviously, and you are sure that whatever you are making will withstand the FDA scrutiny. If by chance you need, just solid state characterization or different things, I don't know, leachable and extractables, right? You don't do every time, right? You do very, very seldomly. Then you outsource it to a specialized CDMO, right? Which is good in the field, because it's not worth to invest in that capability, and you use once or twice a year, right? So that's what I don't really, I'm not surprised about the poll 50-50. It depends what you need.